Hard times are here, and Nigerians are not smiling over the unprecedented rise in food prices. A consistent rise in inflation in the country has seen corresponding hike in prices of food and other items in the markets. Rising insecurity in different parts of the country has been blamed for the recent hike in prices of food items as Nigerians continue to groan under economic hardship. In this Journalist Hangout Weekend Special, TVC News Abimbola Agbebi brings us updates in this market survey.
Food is essential to the development of the body, hence it is one of the three basic needs of life. As essential as food is to human existence, its availability is most of the time determined by power of the purse of individuals. Startling revelations emerged during our visits to different markets in Lagos, as it was discovered that prices of major food items are already hitting the rooftop. Not satisfied with what I saw, I decided to visit the popular Mile 12 International Market in K2 area of Lagos, having visited other markets across the state. The K2 Mile 12 Market, which is the home of perishable foodstuff, is also known as the vegetable hub of West Africa. As one of the biggest marketplaces in the state, it is generally known for flexibility in the cost of major food items. It is where food products coming from within and outside the state land, serving as a meeting point for buyers and sellers. Here, food items are generally perceived to be cheap when compared to other markets. But this was not true on my visit to the market this day, as Salisu Usman, a bell pepper seller, laments high cost of this food item.
Pepper now they say the food last 2 months when they go they sell back 30,000. They say 28. Some people that buy, some people that talk say the market is too expensive. But the two add money sometimes.
Aziz, a yam seller, also shared his story.
How much is your yam?
My yam is 3.5 last. That one, na last price at the seller.
How many is this one?
Na 5 pieces.
And it's 3.5?
3.5 last.
How much did they sell before?
Before, then they sell on 1.5. Now when you don't cost, that is why everything costs.
Before now 1.5?
Before now 1.5. Yes. So before making 300. Now on 700 then they sell now. Making 3.5. People they buy sumo, but tell then they buy well. But now on market no day.
Here is a market survey of major food items in Lagos, showing a shift in the prices recently. A bucket of gari, which was sold for 700 naira last year, is now selling for 1,100 naira, while the bag now sells for 16,000 naira. A bag of imported rice, popularly known as foreign rice, is now 26,000 naira, as against the old price of 23,000 naira. Also, a bag of local rice now goes for 22,500 naira, which is still a bit stable, as there is not much difference in the price. A big bag of beans, popularly known as oloyin, now goes for 62,000 naira, which was sold for 28,000 naira last year. The prices of vegetable oil keep fluctuating as these foodstuff traders share our thoughts on the present situation in the markets.
You can't buy, you can't sell. We know when price is high, people don't buy. Bottle of groundnut oil is 650. The thing we used to sell 400 before. Things are expensive. Too much. People are suffering. See bucket of gari, 1,100. 500 naira bucket before. Beans, this one, this pen is 2,400. A bag of beans 60,000. 70. Gombe 60. Real Mediguri 70. It's expensive. I'm not making anything. If you make it, so buy meat, if I carry money now, I wanted to buy meat. I get there. If you see meat of 5,000, my sister, too small. I did not buy one fish. They will say 1.5. We don't know where we are going. We are just praying that God should help us. Maybe somebody hold 3,000. Let me come to market. You buy a bottle of Ororo 650. Meat 1,000 meat. If they cut it for you, it's not up to 10. So what are we saying? They are managing. They should help us. We are suffering. The masses is suffering.
Because I have little children, they must eat, but they prefer rice to beans. The beans I was buying it for, as at last year, I was buying for 800, 900. But now it is 2,200 for the Oloyin. Then the ordinary one is 2,002 or 2,003, as the case may be. So the rice I just bought small here now. They said the bag is 22,500, but I don't have money for bag, so I just bought a pint. She managed to sell for me for 2,000 naira for a pint. So that was what. The pint is for 30 anyway. If they open the border, it will come down. At Christmas, the thing came down to 20,000, and we bought for like 1.8 a per pint. But now it has gone back to, some people said for 24, some people said 20. We just have to buy it because we cannot eat the money, as I have said. We can't eat the money. So somehow we look for like tomatoes, the one that is a bit broken. I bought some potato now, the broken one. So that's it. So meat, to make end meat.
Ẹran ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀wọ́n gidi gan ni. Ọ̀wọ́n àwa ga àtúnwà lọ àríra níbi tó wọ́n dé. Ẹyọ kan báyìí is 4,000 naira. Òǹlẹ́lẹ̀ méjèèjì jẹ́ 8,000 naira. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ 2,500, 2,000 naira. Gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n o. Ẹ bá wa sọ fáwọn ìjọba kí wọ́n bá wa já gbogbo ẹ̀ wálẹ̀ o. Ṣé gbọ́?
For this market official, prices of most of the food items have skyrocketed for various reasons, most especially these perishable food items. Top on the list of reasons he gave is rising insecurity in the northern part of the country.
The market is mostly expensive, especially tomatoes. This is a season because normally every year this is how we encountered it. At times when the rain started in the north, you find that the first rain washes off all the tomatoes. We cannot expect tomatoes to come down luckily by end of this June, because the one of Southwest is coming out. That's the way we have an assistance. When our tomatoes from the north is going down, then the one of the Southwest is coming up. There is many challenges along the way. Even most of our traders is at risk along while traveling, and even though some of them going back, they are at risk because mostly you find people and operate of these kidnappers. No one somebody even at the farm people are being kidnapped. So there are many challenges, but we are just praying. Inshallah, God will take control of all the situation we are facing in the country.
Meanwhile, for the first time in many months, recall that the inflation rate in Nigeria moderated by 0.05% to 18.12% in April from 18.17% recorded in March 2021. The ease in inflation was said to have been influenced by a decline in the food index, which the National Bureau of Statistics said stood at 22.72% in April 2021, compared with 22.95% in March 2021, reflecting a reduction by 0.23%. However, in the month under consideration, there were still increases in the price of coffee, tea, bread, cereals, and other food items. On whether government can help reduce the growing burden, some Nigerians are indifferent as they struggle to live with the challenges.
If there is something they can do, they would have done it long time ago, but they have not done anything. So we, the ordinary people, will just have to make a way for ourselves because we cannot depend on the government anymore.
Rising insecurity in the northern part of the country tops the list of the challenges traders here have had to grapple with. When it comes to getting these food items down to the southwestern part of the country, now they want government to come to their rescue so that life can be better for residents. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
Very tough. situation
in fact,
is very
I'm
tough.
scared. I can now see why.
The situation is very tough.
Why?
Let's say last week, I wanted to drink Gari Jebu. So, and I asked them to go and buy. So, now the Gari that you say is a poor man's food,
No.
is now
It's a rich man's
1,100 per pint.
From 500.
From 500,
Yeah.
that paint bucket.
Yes.
That's Gary.
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 Do you want to do?
I said, my wife said I should follow her to the market. So that he said, just hold the money. Let us go to the market. Where I will just point to the item and you buy. I said, don't give me money. I was afraid.
With 10,000 naira.
I said, I was afraid to take out the
Because they are even better at pricing things than us. That's one thing. The women are much better at pricing things than us.
So difficult time to
I've noticed that these days, whatever I keep my money in my wardrobe, within a short time, it's exhausted. So I've been wondering,
what's happening?
What's going on? I can now see clearly the reason. Because some of the facts that came out from this report, I never knew that a bag of rice could move from 20,000
beans.
A bag of beans could move from 20,000 to 62,000.
Yeah. And the highest grade is 770.
Yes, because I had one of Maiduguri. That's 70. So I'm alarmed. There's no market survey that you can do that will incorporate everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not possible to.
Basics.
You just target a few of the items.
Yeah.
But to have moved from 28
to 62
is really scary.
To those people making
that's more than double.
Those people
a
making
kilo of Titus fish.
Yes.
From 900 to 2,500.
Yeah.
A kilo.
A kilo of turkey.
Yes.
From 1,100 to 2,400. Man. I can now see where.
And bread.
And those ones are even threatening that
they said,
are going to.
It's not a threat because why they are saying that is a truckload of flour that they normally take for 6 million is now costing them 9 million. So if they are doing 30%, if they are planning a 30% increment, then they are doing us a favor. And because that's a 50% increment. And flour is 70%, constitutes 70% of the total production cost of bread. At least 70%. Because you only need to add a little bit of yeast, baking powder, butter, and sugar.
Salt. Okay, so sugar.
Bread is like 70%. And you know, flour goes into the production of cake, confectionaries, biscuits. What have you?
Very key.
So, what we are seeing is a very, very scary situation.
It has never been
so if you
bad.
put money in your wardrobe because you want to be very open with your wife, you put money in your wardrobe and you notice that it shrinks faster than before. This is the reason. Because I was going to have an eyeball to eyeball session with Mrs. So he told you that what's going on. I'm noticing that this thing is finishing rapidly. But right now, before they throw a challenge to me to accommodate them to the market, and I'll be the one no, I know why this is happening. I don't have to follow her to the market. This is a story that really tells it. Yeah. They tell the story of what we are going through.
Yeah.
People are going through a lot in our country. And like Ayo said earlier, nothing goes up in our country that comes down. It has gone up, they will never agree for it to come down. You know? Even if it comes down, maybe just marginally.
You won't get it back. You won't get a bag of beans back at 28.
No, it won't happen.
However, buy a bag of rice for 9,000.
Maybe tomatoes come down gradually, a little bit.
Because it floods the market at the particular point.
During dry season. It comes down. Even onions at a point will come down. But a lot of these things,
that of beans is really, really scary.
With a minimum wage of 30,000 naira or 18,000 naira, how do you, a family of 5, How do you go about?
I don't know. And you have children to feed. This bread thing is even scary because when your children are fully at home,
yes,
and they play all those video games, they don't sleep at night. They just keep eating bread.
Bread and tea.
That is what sustains them. That's what gives them energy. You have to chase them to go and sleep at like sometimes up to 2 a.m. And this bread that they eat. Now, if they increase bread price by 30%, already now it's about 550.
Yeah.
For a loaf of bread, that the long one, sliced bread, 550. If they increase it by 30%,
we could end up at 600 or 700.
How are we going to cope?
Jide, I cannot, I'm not independently verified, but I was told that that sachet water is now 20 naira.
Yes, it is. That's true.
Of course.
What we used to buy for 5 naira.
Yes,
now, the most exciting part of it is that what can we do with 5 naira now? We still have 5 naira in circulation.
Yes.
We have 10 naira in circulation.
25 naira.
20 naira in circulation. Not to talk about coins.
We don't use the coins. Inflation has totally knocked out those denominations. So
if you have 5 naira, they should stop just.
What are you going to buy with 25 naira?
All right. A member of the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria, Emmanuel Noha, joins us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ayo. Good afternoon, BKU, and good afternoon, Moji.
Good afternoon. Are you? Is the story that we are hearing true that bread makers are planning to increase the price of bread by 30%? I hope it's not true.
Gentlemen, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, viewers at home. You just read out a synopsis of a tale of woe in the food commodity market in Nigeria. And bread is no exception. By the way, I am Engineer Honor Emmanuel. I'm the president of Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria. The association that I lead hasn't increased the bread, but we are battling with so much uncertainty, so much problem, so much challenges in bread making. Our businesses are comatose. Bakeries are shutting down. My members are fallen. My members are in a dire straits. It's not funny being a premium bread maker or even a bread maker now. And not only bread making, but even confectionery. It's very, very, very tough. You know, when I look at the country today, I pray for this country that everything will come out well. Because if you join the insecurity with food insecurity, it becomes a matter of monumental, a matter of bigger problem. We just hope that those in authority will listen to what we are saying, especially for the bread makers, because bread is a staple. Every Nigerian, rich or poor, humble or elite, eats bread one way or the other. If you don't eat it, you take other confectionaries. This is the best grab and go globally. And anything that will make that price to spike indiscriminately will result to a lot of crisis in this country. I just hope that the government is listening. I know your medium is widely watched by those in power. Let them come to the aid of bakers so that they don't exacerbate the already precarious situation.
What do you want government to do? What specifically do you want government to do?
Well, Jide, let me take you on our inputs that we use, and then let me give you the percentage increases that we suffered pre-COVID to now. Flour used to go for 10,500 naira. It is now going for about 15,500 with a threat that they are going to increase by 500. The millers are always increasing flour almost on the weekly basis now by 500 naira. And for every 500 naira they increase, as a premium bread maker, your margin shrinks by about 10 naira, 8 to 10 naira. Now, from 10,500 to 15,500, it's about a 22% increase. And flour, like Moji that earlier said in the prelude to this program, or to my coming on, is about 70% of the inputs. Sugar. Sugar, that was 13,500, going from about 18,700 to 19,000, depending on where you are getting it from. That's about a 30% increase. Margarine, fats, that was going for 5,800, is now going for 12,500, a 54% increase. Preservative, that was going for 29,000, is now 42,000, that's a 40% increase. Yeast, that used to go for 7,500, 8,000, is going for 15,500 to some extent 16,000. That's a 52% increase. Salt rose by 18%, as ordinary as it is. Now, softener that we used to buy for 300,000 is now going for about 450 to 500,000, which is about 28 to 30% increase. Oil, ororo, that we use in our premix, that was going for 75,000 a drum, is now going for 160,000, which is 53% increase. Milk, that was going for 29,000, is now 65,000, which is about 58% increase. Diesel, of course, you know the role of power in any MSME, whether MSME or major industry. Diesel was going for 130 to 140 before now, but now it's going for 270. That's about 51% increase. So if you accumulate the whole of these inputs that I've given you, you find out that.
So how much will the bread come out?
You understand? It's going to be monumental. But as a people, we are Nigerians. You know, our parents live here. We live here. We work here. We feel for the people. But all we are saying is, as Premium Bread Bakers Association of Nigeria, we will.
Oh, we have to get Mr. Noah back. It's very important. Just look at what he has reeled out, Babajide. This is just a practical demonstration of the reason why that bread, you can't sustain the price.
Two key points there. You know, I was talking about the price of bread for a truckload. Now he has broken it down to per bag. Per bag from 10,500 to 15,000. And diesel a year ago, no, about this time last year, diesel, of course we all buy diesel, about 180. At a point, pre-COVID it was 130. But then with rising crude oil prices, diesel increased by about 100 naira per litre. Today, most filling stations is between 260 and 270 per litre. So if you take those two items alone,
those items alone are enough to raise the price.
Those two items
I wanted to correct you that we don't all buy diesel. Well, strictly for the big boys. I don't know. What do you do with diesel?
so it's, jokes apart, sugar, you talked about sugar from 13,000 to 19,000. Softener, of course, these are things they use in bread, from 300,000 to 450,000. A difference of 150,000.
So, all right, I have Mr. Onoha back.
No, I'm back on the line, sorry.
All right.
My network.
Okay. So, at the end of the day, you've given us a kind of breakdown now. At the end of the day, this will definitely affect the unit price.
As an industry, as an association, we don't fix prices for our members. What we do for our members is you go out, do your costing. Know what you want to do as a business. If you want to remain in business, you know how you run your recipe. What we do is basically, as a people, we do peer reviews, we do in-class regulation amongst ourselves, help ourselves on government regulations and all that. So we are not into telling our members to increase price by this way, because my recipe is different from the next man's recipe. But from the synopsis I've just given, you know that we're in a dire strait, and it's not going to be funny for us in terms of the pricing of bread and all that. But I'm not saying that we are increasing price. All I'm saying is people look at their recipe, look at the makeup of what they are using to do their premium bread, and then decide what to do.
Yeah. So one of the things we want the federal government to do is to review the ban on your access to foreign exchange to be able to buy flour. So if the government does that, would you be kind enough to review this 30% increase? Because I think the CBN put flour and wheat as part of those items that they won't allow to access forex for. So yes. If the government reviews this position, would you be able to reduce? Look at the increments that you guys are talking about.
Mojit, please get me right. I'm not saying we are doing a 30% increase. That's not my association. I am president of Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria. So that 30% does not come from my association. But I am telling you from my own perspective as a baker. Now you are talking about removing wheat and sugar from the FX restriction list. Yeah. I think they've not done it. It's a policy that the governor of CBN, Emefiele, initiated when he went to Nasarawa for this backward integration stuff with BUA and all that. Yeah. I don't think they started it, but if they want to start it, I will advise the government to please wait. The times are not good for you to be doing all these kind of policies now in Nigeria. You need to, the federal government even need to be subsidizing wheat importation into this country. They need to help the millers. You know, in July 2012, the federal government introduced a 15% levy on wheat grain imports, resulting in an increase in effective duty from 5% to 20% on wheat that comes into Nigeria. The levy is meant for the development of wheat cultivation in Nigeria and fund research into cassava projects. But about how many years down the line, to 10 years down the line, after the introduction of the levy, we have not seen the effect of wheat cultivation and any headway in cassava flour initiative in Nigeria. What we are asking the government to do as a way of ameliorating the problem of even the millers, because as we speak, we are still talking for them because we use their product as their product as our end product for our product. The government should remove that 15% levy on wheat importation and let it be the way it was pre-July 20th, 2012, so that 15% can help the millers assuage the effect of this the 15% on the wheat importation, the duty on it. We help them. Government should only take 5%. With that, we help the price of wheat to come down significantly for the use of Nigerians in bread making and confectionery.
All right, I want to thank you, Mr. Onoha, Emmanuel Onoha. That's a member of the Premium Bread Makers Association, so the president of the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for your contribution, Julie. Thank you. He has helped us. He has broken it down.
Thank you so much.
If we start, if we see a kind of increase in the price of bread per unit, we know why, and it's generally a very difficult terrain now.
We just hope that we come out of this.
Inflation
in one piece.
Inflation 18.7.
This is what my dad about 40 years ago used to call a season of Fowuremi. As in, things are so costly that you must use money to buy
to stay alive.
I'm telling you. Yeah. MJ, we have to leave it there. Next, we'll talk sports. We'll take this break. We'll be right back after this.